Hello everyone, I'm T. Bhargavi, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, St. Martin's Engineering College. Today I'm going to tell about software development life cycle. Before that, we'll be learning the basic terminologies like what is software engineering, and the difference between the product and the project. And we'll be learning about the types of software life cycle models, right? Uh, right, what is software? Now, software is a set of executable codes, right? Next, what is software engineering? Now, it is a set of discipline where all the techniques, methods are used to develop a software product, right? Now, what is the difference between application, that is the application or project? Next is what is product? We'll be learning the difference, right? Now, what is project and what is product? Now, generally, in our daily life, we'll be using MS Word, right? This we are using for a set, for a common people, right? This is called as the product where it is used for the overall customers. Next, product is for a particular customer, you are going to develop the project. This is called as project, right? Next topic is, we'll be learning what are the steps involved in SDLC, right? Now they are yes. Now these are the life cycle model steps. First step is the requirements gathering. And planning. Second step is the design phase. And third step is the coding. Fourth step is the testing phase. And fifth one is the release and maintenance phase. Now we'll be learning each phase now. In particularly, we'll be learning each phase in different things. First, requirements gathering and planning. For what we're using this is, suppose in general terms, suppose if we go for a software company. Now what is happening is, generally, if the customer doesn't know software, right, now he approaches a software company. For example, if we have a banking sector or a healthcare center, right? Now, these people want to go for the software, complete software they want to do. What they do is they approach the software company, right? They will approach the software company. Now, as a technical people will be, a team of people will be involved. Who are the people involved? Are business analyst. Next is the project manager and few technical people, right? Who does know all this. Next is software company. What we'll do is, this customer will approach the software company and he'll be asking what are the requirements, right? Now, the person comes as the business analyst. Now, who is this business analyst? Is a person working in the banking sector can only understand the banking terminologies, whereas as an engineer, you'll not be able to understand the terms, right? These technical terms. Whoever, as an analogy, what we are doing, only the, what we say, the next is business analyst will gather all the requirements from the banking people, right? Banking or any healthcare center. Whoever want to do everything to software company, right? Software. These people will be giving all the requirements. Next comes the project manager. Now this project manager, what he's going to do is, he's going to decide how many months or years Next, what are the softwares involved? That is front end as well as the back end. And third one is going to decide the cost. The main thing is the cost. Now these three things are decided by the project manager in the design phase. Now in this design phase, you'll be using flowcharts, data flow diagrams. Next is the UML diagrams. Right? These are the basic things. Now next comes because the coding people, the technical people will not understand the terms, right? So what they're doing is they are going to draw this in the form of a diagrams. Any diagrams, they're going to choose it and they're going to do this, right? Next is the coding phase. Now in this, what they're going to do is they're going to use what front end they're going to use, the back end, the programming language, what they're going to use, they're going to decide in this, right? That is decided with product management. They are going to implement in the coding phase, right? Next comes the testing phase. Now, which tool you are going to test it, right? Any tool, they are going to use it. Testing is unit testing, integration testing, and system testing, right? These are the three testings they are going to use. Next comes the release and maintenance phase. Whereas after completion of all these phases, now comes the last stage, that is called as release and maintenance phase. This is given by change control board. Now what they are going to do in this change control board is, after the product is released into the market, they are going to test it. That is called as beta testing, right? After beta testing, they are going to release in the market. Again, if there are any loopholes in that product, they are going to maintain it. Completely, they are not going to do it from the scratch. They are going to change in the change control board. They are not going back and they are not doing. But what they're doing is only a set of people will be doing this, and they're going to change whatever the things they are. These are the basic phases in the life cycle model. Right, these are the phases. Now we'll be learning about the types of SDLs. Now what are the types is, there are many types. First one is the waterfall model. Next is the waterfall model. Second is the V model. Third one is the RAD model. Fourth one is the spiral model. Fifth one is the incremental model. Sixth one is the fish model. And the last one is the fish model. Oh my God. Now we'll be seeing about the waterfall model. Now why comes the name waterfall is because the project is in the linear sequential form. Now what are the first step is requirements gathering, right? Now next is design, and next is the coding, and next is the testing, and next is the release and maintenance. Now, as you can see in the diagram, it is like waterfall, right? That is the name it is given as waterfall model, and the other name is called as linear sequential model. Linear sequential. Why it is called as linear sequential is, what is the first stage is requirements gathering, right? This requirements are gathered from the customer by the business analyst, and is going to gather it, and he's going to decide whether which you have to keep it, right? In that you have two things. First one is the functional requirements, and next one is the non-functional requirements, right? Now we'll see what are functional requirements, right? And what are non-functional requirements. Now, as I told you all, the business analyst is going to decide what is should be there, right? Suppose if you take addition of two numbers, right? Addition of two numbers. This is the information gathered by the business analyst. Now he is going to gather in the business requirement specification, that is the BRS. Now he is going to decide that this is the thing you have to do, that is addition of two numbers, right? Now what is the first thing in the functional requirements is, now what are the operators you have to use? Next is what are the functional things, right? And in non-functional requirements is what is the color of the page and what are the testing you have to use. All these things you have to use in non-functional requirements, right? Now how the page is going to be, right? If you are going to use two operators, for this you have two inputs and one output, right? These are the things will be displayed on the page, whatever the page you want, right? This is the web page you are going to do. This comes under the functional requirements. Now what are non-functional requirements is, what is the color of the box, what is the color of the background, all this comes under the non-functional requirements. In this you have the performance, right? That comes under non-functional requirements. Performance will come under the non-functional requirements, right? These are the things you are going to add in the requirements gathering phase. Now comes the design phase, right? Next, what you'll do in design phase is, in this phase you'll be having two things. One is the HLD and the other one is the LLD. What is HLD is high level design, and second one is the LLD, that is the low level design. Now in this approach you'll be using two approaches, top down approach and bottom up approach, right? Suppose there is a web page. This is the home page, right? Now how it is going to divide it, that you are going to consider in the HLD, right? Now in further what you are going to do is that will come under low level design, right? Now we'll go back and see what is the third step. Now this coding is the third step, right? Now what you'll do in the coding is, what are the softwares you are going to use in the front end, like programming languages like Java, Python, C, C++, anything. And back end is database or SQL, anything you can use it. That is decided by the project manager. Next comes the testing phase, right? Now comes the testing phase. Now testing is mainly on three types, that is unit testing, second one is the integration testing, and third one is the system testing. As I already told you all, it is divided into low level design, right? Now that is tested, right? That comes under unit testing. Each module is tested. That is comes under unit testing. Next comes, suppose in a project there are 3 units, right? Now how it is, after combining how it is working, that is from what they do is, first unit they are going to test plus second unit. After this they are going to test third unit, right? This is called as second integration testing. That is, after completion they are going to combine each and every module. That is how it is going to give the output. first unit, suppose there is a web page, right? Home is there. Now, if you take the Gmail account, what you have, a login ID and the password, right? Now, where it will redirect is the inbox page, right? Now you'll be having inbox, sent items, drafts, everything. Now what they do is separately they are going to design it and they are going to test it, right? Each thing is tested differently and they are going to combine it. Finally, what they are going to do is system testing. How it is working in the system, right? All the combined things they are going to do it in the system testing. Here completes the testing phase. Now last one is the release and maintenance phase, right? Now what they're going to do is in the release and maintenance phase, as I already told you all, if there are any bugs, right? No, first what they do is they are going to release it into the market. After releasing into the market, that is the beta versions are released, right? Beta versions are released and they are going to check it. After checking, if there are any bugs or any loopholes in the product or the project, what they're going to do is, there's a board called change control board. These are the people they are going to do it. This is a team of people, right? There's a team of people. They are going to change it. They are not going to do from the scratch. As I already told you all, this is linear sequential model, right? Once you complete this, then only you can go to the design phase. After completion of one phase, then only you can go to the next phase. The same way, this phase is completed, then only you can go to coding. This phase is completed, then only you can go to the testing phase. That is the reason it is called as linear sequential model. That is like the waterfall model. Water, how it flows, right? After from the high to the low, the same way from the height, that is the first phase to the last phase, you're going to do it, right? This is called as waterfall model. Now next model is called as V model. Now in this you have two types, right? The left one is called as the verification and the third one is called as the validation. Now the same phases you are going to do but with different, right? What is the first thing you are doing? You are gathering the requirements from the customer, right? Now immediately they are going to test it. That is called as acceptance testing, right? Now as I given the example, right, addition of two numbers. We need only addition or we need only subtraction or we need any other operator, right? We can use this, right? We can tell whether it is accepted or not. Now we'll be looking at the V model, right? Now in this you have two parts. First, left side is called as verification and the right side is called as the validation. Now left side, as I told you, right, requirements gathering is gathered by the customers, right? Immediately it is given for acceptance testing. Now whether it is accepted or not, that is going to be tested. Suppose for example you have, till now I told, right, operators usage. Now plus, minus, division, multiplication, what are the things you have to use it, that is given by the customer, right? Now whether it should be accepted in that or not, you'll be using by testing, that is called as acceptance testing. Next comes the design phase, right? Now here the system testing is done. Whether the design is tested or not, you are going to decide in this. Next comes the what we have, requirements, design, and next coding, right? In this you have two parts. First one is the integration testing, and next is the coding. In this coding you have unit testing. Already I discussed, right? You have two parts, integration as well as unit testing, right? This is called as a verification and validation. That is why the name given as V model. Now, after each and every phase is completed, you are going for immediate acceptance testing. But what is the disadvantage in waterfall model, as we have seen now? That is, after each phase it is not tested, whereas it is completion of all the phases, then comes the testing phase, right? This, whereas in this V model, what we're doing, immediately after one phase, you're going to test it. That is the requirements gathering you're gathered, and then you're doing acceptance testing. Next comes the design phase, then you're going for the testing. Coding phase, you're going integration testing, and then you're going to do unit testing. That is the reason, that is why it is called as V model. That is the main advantage of this testing, right? Now next comes the RAD model. Now as the name tells, it is rapid application development. What we do in this rapid application development is, we are going to do the immediately whatever we want to do, we'll be using in the RAD model, right? Now we'll see one video. Now as you can see in this video, right? Now this is the analogy. Analogy is nothing but the comparison of the real-time systems, right? Now in this system, as already I told you all, there's a business, there's a customer, right? This is a customer, and you'll be having the business analyst, and you'll be having a team, right? That is the technical architect, then the quality analyst, all will be coming. See if you can see, this is the team, right? This is a team of members, and this is a customer who has approached the software company. How they are going to do? Right, in this they are going to check it. See, this is the architect, project manager, and next comes the business analyst. What is business analyst doing, right? She's having the knowledge about the business. Next comes the quality lead. Whether that quality project is there or not, it is going to be shown it, right? Next comes the customer convenience, right? Better accuracy, increased productivity, cost reduction, and better decision. As already I told you, these are the basic necessities for developing the software, right? Now next comes the requirement documents, that is divided into two types. First one is the functional requirements, and second one is the non-functional requirements, as already I told you all, right? See, this document is called as software requirement specification. Right, this is given by the business requirements, functional and non-functional requirements, right? Next is the system design. What system you are going to use, right? These are the web pages you are going to design. This is given in the form of the diagrams. Any diagrams, right? UML diagrams, data flowchart diagrams, or flowchart. Anything you can use it, right? Now this is the person is going to lead it. This is divided into modules, you can say. These are the basic models, and this comes under the low level design. Now see, already high level design, right? This is the person who is going to divide. Programming teams, they are going to divide. Now he is the project lead, and is going to give it separately. Next is the LLD, low level design, program design, right? Now he is going to give it in the form of a diagrammatic forms. Now what they are going to do is review. What is review is, they are going to test it in each phase, right? Business requirement, just a document, they are going to read it, whether it is matching to the given requirements or not, they are going to do a review, right? Next comes the coding phase. What language you are going to use, this is given in the coding. Next is the testing phase. As already I told you all, there are different types of testing: unit testing, integration testing, as well as system testing, right? Unit testing, integration testing, and system testing. These modules are divided, right? Already I told you all, these modules, they're going to do it in unit testing, and then they're going to combine and they're going to do it in integration testing. Next, the full combined thing is done in the system testing. Now what they're going to detect is bugs. Now these are the defects in the software project when they're going to do it. The last comes the acceptance testing, right? Now who is going to accept this? The customer has to accept it, right? Whether it is accepted or not, whether he is satisfied with whatever he has given, whether his requirements are used in this or not, he is going to check it. That is called as acceptance testing, right? Now, how many defects are there? Next is impact of defects. That is the maintenance phase. How many defects are there? You can find out, right? In each thing, you can find out and you can clear it. And then they're going to do it in the acceptance testing. Last comes the change control board. What they're going to do is, any defects are there, they're going to come back and they're going to change it, right? That is called as change control board. Now they are not going it to do from the scratch. That is, from the first phase they are not going to do it. They are going to have a team of people and they are going to change in that, right? And they are going to release again in the market. This is like the beta versions of operating systems you have, right? They're going to do it. In the same way, in this every project or the product they are going to release into the market, they're going to do this. Next comes the spiral model. What is spiral model? As the name tells, it is in the form of a spiral, right? They're going to look it like a spiral. They're going to start here, then they're going to test it, then they're going to do it, then they're going to again gather the requirements from the client, again they are going to test it, and they're going to complete all the phases whatever they have, right? This is the spiral model. Thank you for today's session.